In Landman Season 2, Episode 8, Cami Miller makes a decision that could either save MTEX or destroy it completely. Against the advice of her lawyers, her COO, and even Tommy Norris, she chooses to drill an offshore rig with only a 10% chance of success. So why would a woman surrounded by experts ignore the safe option? Because for Cami, this was never about percentages. It was about identity, legacy, and refusing to live small. The choice, litigation versus drilling. By Episode 8, MTEX is cornered. The offshore rig disaster has left the company bleeding cash, and there are only two viable paths forward. Option 1, litigation. Rebecca and Nate argue that suing the insurance company is the responsible move. It limits losses, buys time, and avoids catastrophic risk. In their eyes, this is how adults run companies, by minimizing damage. Option 2, drill anyway. Charlie, MTEX's geologist, presents bathymetric data, suggesting a hidden gas reserve beneath the ocean floor. The odds are terrible, roughly 10%. But if he's right, the payoff isn't millions, it's billions. This is the fork in the road where Cami makes her stand. Why the safe option was never enough. On paper, litigation makes sense. But Landman isn't a show about playing defense. It's about people who build empires by betting on uncertainty. Monty Miller didn't grow MTEX by avoiding risk, and Cami knows that. The key line comes when Tommy suggests selling the company and walking away to a comfortable, quiet life. Cami shuts that down immediately. I don't want comfort, I want success. That line tells us everything. For Cami, litigation represents retreat. Drilling represents belief. Cami versus Monty, living in his shadow. There's another layer here that's easy to miss. Cami isn't just running a company, she's running her late husband's legacy. Tommy doubts her instincts precisely because Monty was the legendary Wildcatter, not her. Every hesitation from Tommy, every warning from Rebecca, reinforces the same unspoken question. Are you Monty, or just the woman who inherited his chair? By choosing to drill, Cami answers that question for herself. She's not copying Monty. She's proving she belongs in the same arena. Why Charlie's pitch worked. Charlie doesn't sell certainty. He sells possibility. He's honest about the risks. He never guarantees success. What he gives Cami is something the lawyers can't. A vision of what MTEX could become if the gamble pays off. That honesty costs him dearly. Rebecca wants him to talk Cami out of it. Instead, he empowers her. That's why their relationship fractures. Truth in Landman is expensive. The theme of gambling runs through the episode. This episode isn't subtle about its theme. Everything is a gamble. Angela wins big at the casino. TL risked his body just stepping into the pool. Tommy keeps betting he can control chaos. Galeno backs the deal, knowing he profits whether MTEX wins or loses. Cami's drill is just the biggest wager on the table. And unlike everyone else, she's gambling for meaning, not money. Why everyone thinks she's wrong and why she might be right. Tommy sees only the downside. Rebecca sees legal disaster. Nate sees balance sheets bleeding red. They're not wrong. But they're also not owners. Cami understands something they don't. If MTEX survives by playing it safe, it won't be her company. It will be a shell alive but hollow. Drilling gives her agency. Litigation gives her survival. She chooses agency. What this means for the final episodes. This decision sets up the endgame of Season 2. If the drill fails, Cami could lose everything, her company, her credibility, and the trust of the people around her. But if it succeeds, she doesn't just save MTEX. She becomes undeniable. And that's the real reason she drills. Final thought. Cami Miller doesn't drill because the odds are good. She drills because she refuses to live by odds at all. In Landman, the most dangerous thing isn't risk. It's choosing a smaller life just to feel safe. And whether Cami wins or loses, one thing is clear. She finally made a choice that was hers. Thank you for watching.